Hello, welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy, and today I'm gonna go over why the death toll threshold cannot be reached. I was listening to Benjamin Dixon earlier, and he's finally coming around to it. You know, he was asking the question, how many does it take to die? He talked about V for Vendetta, and 80,000 reached was like tear down the government, and the movie Contagion. Now, I haven't seen those two, but because Sonny Secular have spoken about it, I'm interested. And I was interested a long time ago, but couldn't watch movies, didn't have the money because $13 a ticket is stupid. And honestly, going out with a little kid won't happen. Not to the movies. And babysitters, we won't trust him. There you go. So we're gonna watch these, or at least I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, no.
See V for Vendetta for a while. That's an old movie.
Yeah, it is. It's an old movie.
Pre-her.
Yeah, pre-her. Movie tickets are expensive. No money, no funds, no fun. So, so I'm going to talk about why the death toll threshold cannot be reached. Now, a while ago, even I was saying, how many does it take to die before something is done? And then it transitioned to, why are we accepting it? And I was saying that there is no level, there is no limit, there is no maximum. Here's the thing: the death toll, 200,000 plus now, official, 200,000 U.S. inhabitants are dead. Why can we not just get pissed off and just, what do we do? This is going to be something you will dislike, but the truth is something no one likes to hear. So let me list this. First and foremost, the first reason why the death toll threshold won't be reached before there's some backlash against the government and other stuff is because the government was the one that first covered it up. They're the first ones to speak out like it's nothing while they sold off stock shares to make money, knowing what was going to happen because of this pandemic. They're also the ones that decided that they're going to give $13 trillion to the very few of the U.S. inhabitants, those that don't even really like to stay in the U.S., while the rest of us get a one-time $1,200 check and then say that we're going to hold off all the bills and stuff you got to pay. But it's not that they're forgiven. No, they are backlogged, so you're going to have to pay it back when all this is supposedly said and done. That's not enough. The government has to maintain their way. They have to maintain their power. They don't maintain their power if they go against the lies that they spread in the beginning by saying it's a hoax, it's fake, and don't worry about it. Everything's going to bounce back. That American exceptionalism. You have to understand that. So that means the people in the streets, those Republicans, those racists, those, jackwads that say, look, what they say is true. If Trump says it, it's true. Now they believe it. It's false. It's a hoax. Why? Because the Republicans know that their base, all they care about is sticking it to the libs, the liberals, the Democrats, the progressives. That's it. If you're blue, then you're nothing. They hate you. It's just that simple. Whether you're blue and on their side, they don't care. You still blue. That's it. So you got the people on the street that says, we know it's fake. It's a hoax. And then you put out the videos that is bullshit, confirmation bias. So you've got the videos, where are the bodies? Where are the sick people in the hospitals? Why aren't the hospitals over flooded? Because they expect everything to look like a certain movie that's gone out of whack. Zombie movies and other contagion movies and illness movies where hospitals are overran. The nurses and doctors don't know what to do, where to go, how to function, because it's just so many people. That's one of the problems. And then they say, well, you know what? I don't see any dead. I don't see any sick. Therefore, it's fake. That is the problem. And they lead with that. They stay with that. And they're still doing that even today. That's what they're doing. And so when you've got that happening and you've got those people, that 25 to 33% of the country that says, I am not wearing a mask, I am not staying inside, and just 3 days of staying inside rile them up to the point they say, I got to go outside and I don't care. I'm going to have my freedom. See, they miss oppressing people. That's me, giving stuff that probably isn't. I don't know how true or not true that is, but if you miss oppressing people, if you miss going out and hurting people, there you go. Also, George Floyd, his death. When I said how many black deaths is it going to take, and I said it's not how many, it's that one. So, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Sandra Bland, and all of that come to a culmination. People hit the streets. White people started hitting the streets after the black people hit the streets. Wait a minute. Is all Black Lives Matter on the street? No, it was black people in general because they're trying to say Black Lives Matter. When you have too many, which is more than zero, black people who are unarmed, laying down, compliant, and still getting murdered. There's a problem. So people took to the streets. That's a distraction. They're in the streets. The virus is in the streets. They're going to spread it. They're going to pass it. All the while, that distraction is going on. You've got these conservative white people that want to get out there saying, I want my freedom, so I'm going to protest. I'm going to be outside in mass and protest that I can't be outside. And multiple videos, what I've said, let that sink in. They're outside saying that they deserve to be outside. They want their freedom while they're exercising their freedom. And there's too many things back and forth. The streets are full of people saying, I want my freedom to be outside, and this is a hoax. We need to be outside and protesting because we're tired of black folks getting murdered. And so you've got conservative racists versus Democrats. So both got to be outside. And then Trump wants to hold rallies. And since Trump is holding rallies, now you got the bikers and other people saying, I am going to hold things in mass. We're going to hold things in mass. We want what we want, and we want to be out there giving what we want when we want it. That's it. No matter what, no matter how many die, no matter who dies, we want what we want. And the problem is, while those who are blue, I'm not saying which blue, but just blue, are forced to go to work, got to go to work, and get this virus and die, those who are red, they're usually more well-to-do. They are in more spread out communities because they have larger lawns and whatnot. They have less get-togethers. They don't have to go out and do this. They don't have to. They want to. And they don't care. They get it. It's asymptomatic, or they get it and don't realize how bad they get it. They feel like it's a cold. They feel like it's just a weak flu, but they get over it. They spread it and don't care. So you've got political people holding the reins of saying, let's get back to normal. And then you've got the conservatives saying, let's get back to normal. Only the black people are dying. Only the Mexicans are dying. Only the Asians are dying. And see, the truth is, it ain't the fact of who is dying, it's who is not dying. And while Sturgis and any other rally gets together and spread it to 200,000 plus instantly. So you fools go there with it, spread it, and that spread goes back home. You spread it to your homes. You spread it to those neighborhoods because they just got to go out and do stuff because yuck. That's what's going on. That's why things are happening like this. And no. Minorities, yeah, they're out, and some are out because they believe it's a hoax. Why? And why do some people think it's a hoax? Even though they will not listen to Trump and say that he's all BS and whatnot, why do some of these people call it a hoax? And here's the straight up reason, because the truth of it is so frightening, they can't live with that. Just to recall myself, I remember when this was really getting set in and I knew it was coming to the U.S. This was late February. I was at the mailbox and I just paused. I looked up at the sky. I looked around and I remember thinking, this is really happening. I was like, you can't see it, smell it, feel it. It's not something that walks up and touches you and say, hey man, I got you. No. It could be in the air right now and you inhale it. And I remember this dread, this fright succumbing to me. I felt it down the back of my neck, down my spine. I felt fear. That if you can recall being a child and you are so afraid of either getting that whooping or being put in timeout or your mom or your dad being mad at you, that terrifying, almost paralyzing fear that crept in literally somewhere just below the shoulder blades but above the small of the back. It was stunning, and I thought, my daughter, what's going to happen? My woman, what's going to happen? Me, what's going to happen? Either you get it and you're all right, you get it, you're messed up, but you recover. You get it, you're messed up, and then you recover, but you're still messed up with those symptoms. Or you're asymptomatic and you can spread it, but if you feel fine and you say, I'm going to go out because LOL, or, you want to go, white girl howling, and you feel like it's okay, just woohoo, then you're going to spread it. You're going to, and I thought, it bothered me that I might be, if I'm asymptomatic and we're all still going out, which I didn't want to do and I haven't done, but I could be responsible for killing somebody that I don't know, has done nothing to me personally that I know of. I could be responsible for someone dying just because I didn't want to keep my ass inside. So that's why I started to keep your ass inside. And I knew I wasn't going to reach many, but I was hoping that the extreme few I reached would spread that message, And I don't think anybody did. And if they did, who listened?
I did. They listened. I spread it.
Sidra spread it. Keep your ass inside. Can't do that now. But that's why. So what's our threshold? We don't have one because, like I said, no matter how old you get, you're just a dumbass child. You want what you want no matter the cost. You want it. You gotta have it. You want to go out? You're gonna go out. You want to go see your significant other no matter who it hurts or how it hurts you, anyone else? You're gonna do it. You want to go have a beer, go out to drink. You want to go to the party because every year we have a party, so we gotta do it. So you're gonna do it.
Can I get in here?
Go ahead, step in, love.
Okay. So, truth is stranger than fiction. And I'm going to come at this from a storytelling point of view. See, the virus came to being of us knowing it late last year. Got over here, and now we are where we are. And everyone wants to get back to normal. Many want to, shut down again. There's something called, I believe it's called the diagram of a story. And when it comes to a diagram of a story, you've got the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. I'm going to tell you all right now, this is all just the exposition. This is all still setting up for what is going to happen. So many people think, oh, it's over, we can get back to normal, or it's the worst it's ever gonna be. This is just the beginning. And see, this is not like a movie where you go sit down, you pay your $50, the movie starts, within about 10 minutes, people are dying and screaming, and now the main character's got to survive. No, this is more like a long book, one of those 400 or 500 pages, where it takes time for everything to play out. Like Mick said to Rocky in Rocky 3, he got civilized. He wasn't hungry anymore. See, this ain't the revolutionary days where they weren't going to stand for Britain fucking them over anymore, so they armed themselves and fought back. This country, as fucked up as it is too civilized. So there is no threshold. Beings are going to keep dying. I mean, what are the masses going to do about it? They're going to go out and they're going to vote. Yay. Then what? That's it. Then what? Is there going to be some grand change? Is COVID going to go away? Is George Floyd going to be back? Are black folks going to be equal? No, none of that's going to happen. Biden's not going to do jack shit. And if Trump wins, it's going to get a little more interesting then. This is just the beginning. Everyone is too civilized for what needs to happen to happen. This is not the country where coups take place. This is not the country where armed folks come in and start slaughtering people to take over. That's not going to happen here. And if it does, it surely won't be for a long damn time. This country is too civilized for the changes that need to be made to be made. The ones who are running shit want shit to be the way it is. They don't care how many people die because they get what they get. And even if they leave office, somebody else is going to get in because the civilized masses don't do enough to make sure that people get in who actually represent their interests. And then even if they did, there is no way to know that that person elected isn't going to get to Washington, a cesspool of bullshit, and get corrupted. This is a very cynical and futile point of view, but I'm telling you that it's the reality. I have very, very little hope in the election and in the sense of people to keep themselves alive. This is just the beginning. People don't care, and they are too civilized. And I'm including myself in that. I'm not saying I'm above it, and I do not know an answer to it. I love to come up with solutions if I can, just like Cedric does, but I don't see a solution. I do not see a solution. You know, people want to go back to the movies and sit there and be lost in the, everything's wrapped up in a nice tidy bow in 2.5 hours and the Avengers win. Yay. It's not going down like that. It's not. Not with anything being the way it is. Cedric has mentioned many times that you would have to get someone in office and they shouldn't have to be able to stay there for 4 years, 6 years, 2 years. Shit, that's all the time to fuck around and do nothing. If you know you gotta do your job and do it quick, you're gonna be invested in doing that. So maybe you can stay there. You get elected once a year. Everybody, sheriffs, mayors, city council, president, congresspeople, senators, once a year. That's it. Imagine what would change then if they know I got to do something and do something quick or they're going to get rid of my ass. Cedric's idea to do that is perfect. I don't know how to get
Mine
that.
was more extreme, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how to get that to happen, but that would be a necessary first step because, these career politicians, got to get money. They're going to be the death of all of us.
And they got one foot in the grave and they're going to kill us.
They
first.
already got one foot in the grave and they're going to kill us first. And then the ones that are coming up behind them, they're grooming to kill our children and their grandchildren.
I will teach my grandkids to hate you all. Ain't that what she said?
That's what she said, yes.
Yeah, so if you want to know why it's like that, because they're teaching them. Just think about this, everyone. Everyone in Congress, these upper echelons, these elites, they are all over 60. Every last one of them. Most of them in their 70s, some in their 80s. And everyone that is 20 years younger than them have died in droves. All because they caught a virus that could have been stopped.
It could have been stopped very simply. But there is no incentive for these individuals to do the right thing by us. Waiting for them to drop dead is not happening quick enough. And even then, the system that they are in, that they have built and shouldered and bolstered up all these decades, is still there and thriving.
You want to change the people, change the system. You change the system by voting in good people that's going to be non-apologetic, get it done no matter what. They don't play the political games. They don't play games with people's lives. They don't sit there and get up on stage and just grandstand. They don't get up there like rock stars and just, I own you on a tweet. Or I spent 30 minutes talking, trying to convince somebody in this room that don't like me anyway of what others have done to me.
But think about it. In order to make it so that these periods with which they are in office are shortened, you're going to have to amend the Constitution. And how are you going to amend the Constitution? They're certainly not going to do it themselves. They're not going to deball themselves for our sake.
So you got to do it yourself. And you get 2/3 of the entire United States to amend. You can amend anything in the Constitution. You just got to get enough people behind it. But with the more people, and then they added these delegates and super delegates, and then you've got these other minute representatives that even though popularity says we want this, they can say, yeah, but I'm not going with it. See, that's the problem. You relinquish too much power to people that want the power. And those who do not need to be in leadership are those that want it the most.
People who have a lot of time to get something done, they wait and wait till the last minute.
That's why there are deadlines on constructions and things like that.
But if you know that you don't have time, you hit the ground and you hit the ground running. Especially if you know that your career and your livelihood is on the line, because you can get voted the fuck out without doing anything, with wasting your time. That's the only thing that's going to change anything. More than getting money out of politics, we have to severely and drastically limit. We have to get rid of career politicians. These people get.
I'll say it's not about mob mentality, everybody. It's about the right mentality.
These people get in office and stay for 40 years doing nothing for us. That means they've done nothing for me and Cedric. They've done nothing for me and Cedric's parents. They've done nothing for our grandparents. A majority of them have already died. 40, 60 years, they have done nothing but make you feel like, oh, it's all good. We've got technology. Oh, black people can be, millionaires because they sing and they dance. But as soon as they say anything political, you tell them to sit down and shut up and play ball. They've done nothing for us. And it's going to be up to us to figure out the best way to completely change everything around them so that it can work for us. There cannot be career politicians anymore because they don't care about a threshold. They don't care how many of us die. They're going to stay where they are in the system they're built. And that's just it.
Will Smith said it best in one of his songs. He said, when I at the table with my kids, I don't ask how much you learned. I ask how much you earned. So he's teaching them how to make money, not educate themselves and get smarter. Just think about that. And when I first heard that, I was like, ooh. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, wait a minute. You ain't asking how to be better for society. You just, how do you make more money? Get your stock going. Get this. And that's the problem. Capitalism blinds you to reality because you're trying to make that money. And that's been in multiple things. And these politicians, they got money, they got wealth. And because of that, they got power. Why? Because somebody's going to buy them. And then those politicians become that person. They become that leader in their group. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, and all these people should not be top tier. Why? Because them motherfuckers serve us, but they don't. Literally, we are the parents. We say we want this. Them fools need to get in there and be like, we're going to make it happen. But instead, civility, hubris, complacency. We sit back and we just say, what are you going to do? And they say, oh, we're going to do this. And we're like, how's that going to help us? It'll help you in this way. And we're like, okay, you don't even question how.
Let's think about it this way. All these politicians that we vote for do nothing. Now think about if your spouse is like that. What if you were a man and Nancy Pelosi was your wife?
Ooh.
She ain't cooking dinner.
Now wait a minute, guys. She or girls, Nancy Pelosi is younger or fits whatever look you
whatever
need.
You want. But just say it. Let's compare. She's your wife. She come home. She don't cook no dinner. She don't wash no clothes. You been at work all day. She ain't got nothing to do but the house. But she don't cook no dinner. She don't wash no clothes. You don't get none. She don't do anything for you. Eventually, what you gonna do with that woman? You gonna trade her the fuck in. And let's switch it. You a woman and and Mitch McConnell is your husband.
I mean, any guy, any Republican, any Democrat, that's your husband.
That's your husband. And their job is to take care of you. Just like they're supposed to do in your best interest. We're going to keep it to what they do in Congress. Make decisions that's in your best interest so you can go to the doctor when you need to, so you can have a decent pay and not struggle. But you don't get that. You don't get the bare minimum. You don't even get dick. What are you going to do? You going to trade them in. So if you're going to trade in your woman or your man so easily for not servicing your needs at home, why can't we trade in these motherfuckers for not servicing us nationally?
On a higher tier.
On a higher tier.
Hey, y'all, can we have equal rights for everybody?
Nope.
No.
You got to go. Can we get universal health care so we can get treated for these ailments that the FDA's fucked up policies and the messed up food is causing us to be sick with?
Nope.
Then you need to go. Hey, can we get reasonable prescription costs? Or hey, none whatsoever? No, but you got to go. Can we legalize drugs so that we can start treating addicts as patients and not as criminals?
Nope.
No. Then you've got to go. And nobody running for anything wants any of the shit I just listed, so what the fuck is the use of them?
So why are you voting for them?
What is the fucking use of them?
And see, that's the thing. That's why, and I know this rubs people the wrong way. That's why I blame y'all. I blame everyone listening and not listening. If you are out there and you're like, look, I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils, you have fucked us over. Every last one of you. Dutchy Smith likes to go on his bullshit tirades, of we got to get Trump out. We got to get, Biden in. What's wrong with you people? He starts raging out, you're my enemy if you don't. You know what? People like him, they're the ones that don't spread the message. People like TYT and Secular Talk and others, all these little elites out there, these progressive elites, they don't spread the message of voting for someone better or starting a new party or anything, an actual unified party. No, it's always we have to galvanize you to vote for the lesser of bullshit.
Because they don't want anything done. They want to put somebody in office who can be there and they not be like, oh my God, they say that every 2 weeks. If they can put somebody in office that they can ignore, then they're satisfied. They can put Biden in his office and Dusty doesn't have to think about him, and Biden can be there and things can go on the way they were pre-Trump. Dusty would be satisfied.
Yep.
Most people will be satisfied because they don't have to think about it. And Trump is abysmal, racist, misogynistic, despot, tyrant, narcissist, egotistical dictator wanting to be son of a bitch, and he makes you think about him on a regular basis. That's why everybody wants to get rid of him. But if you can put somebody up in there that you ain't got to think about, white and black folks alike. The white folks going to want somebody white. The black folks will deal with somebody white because it's par for the course. But I ain't got to think about him. I can go ahead and keep doing me. Then they're fine, and you still won't have shit. That's the whole point. You still won't have anything, and they'll still have it all.
You want to beat the Republicans, but at what cost? Republicans want to beat the Democrats because you know what? Let's just keep it real. Every one of them racist bigots and stuff out there, when the Republicans win, they know they win. They don't care about making money. They don't care. They just want people they hate to suffer. And they know these Republicans, making these laws and accepting these deregulations and things like that because they're getting paid to. And the Democrats are getting paid to shut up and not fight about it. And because if it's money, they get to win. That's it. If they get paid, they win. And it ain't our money. Our money is chump change. They're getting paid by these oil companies and these old money corporations and whatnot. They're getting paid by, new digital technology money like, Mark Zuckerberg and stuff. They get paid to literally destroy everything because money. And these 25 to 33% in the streets, they know that no matter what, no matter how much they lose financially, they know that they can have the ability to go out and kill same-sex people and no one's going to say anything about it. They get to do that. They get to sit back and watch cops murder minorities, beat down the press and women, and that they are rewarded for it. Literally, they can say, I don't care how much money I lose. I get to see, you LGBTQ and you libtards get beat up and shot and killed. Yuck. They get to have that. And you know what we get? To argue, to fight, not vote for the right people. And then when it comes down to it, we're left with the wrong people. And then we got to vote for somebody, right? And then you say your vote don't matter. You know why your vote don't matter? Because you make it so that you don't matter. When everyone out there, Sandy Hook and all that, no one gave a shit. No one gave a shit about guns. Nobody. And then when the white folks started dying because of gun violence in the schools, they couldn't say, well, the inner city. They could talk about, the deprived and stuff. No, they couldn't say anything. No dog whistle about black people because it was too damn obvious. It was too obvious. And all of a sudden, every one of these little, Susie homemakers, losing their kids or their kid going out and doing it, all of a sudden, they want to be an advocate, against gun violence. But what? It's too late.
All that doesn't matter. All that doesn't matter. And see, what people fail to understand is Sandy Hook, all them babies got killed. In the high school, all them high school kids got killed. Those were mostly white people.
Yep.
If white babies, and I'm calling babies, they were kindergartners.
Yep.
And I felt that. I'm not going to lie. It didn't matter what color they are. I felt that because I thought about our own little kid. If they can get slaughtered.
I felt that before I had a kid.
I know,
but
I'm just making my point.
Yes.
If they can get slaughtered because of the poor to no regulations on guns and not be moved to do something, that should tell you something. That should tell you how much they don't care. Okay, fine. The people of color, them not giving a shit, that's par for the course. Okay, fine. But if you're a white person and you saw those children get killed because of a lunatic, a white lunatic with a gun, was able to get one because of the state of the gun lobby in this country today, and it doesn't bother you that they did nothing on behalf of your babies, what the hell? You can't see that? Why can't you see that? I saw that. I knew I was crazy. I was delusional. They're going to do something now.
Because, that didn't kill white people.
A bunch of white babies got killed. Gone. Never had a chance. They're going to do something now. And they did nothing. Them children died in vain. They did nothing. And they will continue to do nothing. I don't know because I'm not him. I'm sure Sidra can go on about this. And this is far longer than he wanted it to be. I'm gonna try and rein it in.
No, you ain't got to rein it in. We get it out.
I know. What I mean is, if you don't know what an exposition is, go look it up. We are just at the exposition. This is just getting started. And it's gonna take so much more for the pandemic. It's going to take so much for of blacks and people of color getting killed and the disabled and the homeless getting killed. It's going to take so much of big businesses getting our money and us not getting shit. So much more. The threshold is higher than we can ever see because it's going to take an insurmountable amount for this country to be moved to do something.
You know what? It just hit me. Let's say, there's so much less, but let's just round it. 320 million people. All right. Even if there was only 110 million people left in 3 years, they wouldn't do anything. Nobody would vote for anything. Nobody would try to rise up against the government. They wouldn't because they would be comfortable where they are. They would like where they are. They don't want to give up their creature comforts. See, if you got 40 people of all nationalities, races, colors, religious, non-religious backgrounds in the street right now, and you got a cop in front of them, one gun, 2 bullets, and that cop tells everyone to shut the fuck up, get on their knees, they're going to do it. 1, appeal to authority. Number 2, no one person wants to take that bullet and die. No matter how many cops are flanking these 40 people, and every 30 seconds shooting one and shooting them randomly, whether they live, die, or just wounded, they only get to shoot one time, one person. And while people are dropping every 30 seconds on either side, nobody would do anything because everyone who isn't shot is all right, wondering when it's going to end and who's going to stop it. And any one of them could say, I will vote to get this cop away from us and those other cops from shooting us. And then the other will say, you're throwing away your vote. You got to vote in one of the people that's all right with us dying. And that's what happened. Because you can think Biden is going to stop this. Name any time Biden said the police were wrong. Name a time Biden apologized for what he said in the past, recent past, and just maybe a week ago. Name a time Biden has, apologized for his racist or bigoted ways. Mr. Grab Hands, Mr. Grabby Grab, What about that? No one wants to bring that up. You had Sanders. I'm not saying he was great, but he was leagues above this. You had that chance and you didn't vote. Why? Because you old motherfuckers didn't want to tell your kids how important it is to vote. Because they would vote for Sanders and you wanted Biden, his old ass, because he matched your old ass in hating the young people. Because you're dumb as fuck. That's really the truth. And I don't like holding back when it comes to shit like this because that pisses me off. That we can't get good because y'all are too jealous of the good that someone else could have that you didn't have. And that's weak. That's weak. So we got Trump because complacency. We got Trump because we were tired because Hillary Clinton exposed it. And we hated it. So we got Trump, who I didn't vote for. 3+ million people voted for Hillary. But you know what? No one's trying to get rid of this career crap in these electoral colleges and stuff. No one's trying to get rid of these delegates and super delegates. If it ain't popular, then why the fuck is it? Because we let it. You, I, and others. See, actually, me, I don't let it because I always vote against the status quo. I vote for people. I don't vote just against somebody. I don't vote Biden. Nope. And I wouldn't vote. It's not going to be because I dislike Trump. I dislike Biden. No, it's because I don't want to vote for somebody that fucking hates me. Trump hates me on another level. And Biden is like, well, I ain't going to say nothing against it.
It's a quiet hate. I don't even know if it's hate. It's just
he
thinks he's better.
Yep, I got money.
You don't have time.
And black kids like rubbing their hairs on my leg.
That was
and Corn Pop was a bad dude that I beat up, or at least told to stop. Just as much as Hillary was like, "You bankers cut it out," and Trump, "I don't need anybody," and everyone on stage deballed. You didn't give me money. Hey, I'd like for you to give to me. And every single voter out there, all those rednecks, that's what you want to call yourselves. Y'all loved it. And all the blue out there don't even know what to do. If it ain't forward thinking, it ain't worth voting. Seriously. And like I said, I hope you vote for Joe Biden. I do. I ain't going to be one. I do hope Joe wins. The problem is when he wins, complacency sets in, everyone shuts up. They think this is going to magically whisk the fuck away, and it's not. It's not. And they're going to be like, wait a minute, we voted for him. Why haven't things changed? And I wish I could teleport to every single one's home and look at it and be like, you wonder why? Really? Really? And then they'll say, well, ain't nobody going to listen to you anyway. And I'm like, I know. But don't worry, someday I'll die. Somebody will be like, hey, remember that Cedric Kennedy guy for comparative reasoning? Man, he said so much and it all made sense. And I wish my ghost could come in and say, shut the fuck up. Because you had the chance and you didn't use it. No politician is going to be in your interest. So why the fuck won't you be? You be in your best interest and vote in people that are for your best interest. The death toll can't be reached because us. Because we don't have standards. We don't have manners of standards. We don't have any of that. And I wish we did. And then like we can't. We can all get it back. We can. This has gone long enough, I suppose. Y'all tired of hearing me and whatnot. If you got questions, you want to timestamp something, let me know. I was only going to make this 6 or 7 minutes, but Sidra rarely talks, and I wanted to give her the reins. And then what she was saying was pissing me off. So, you know, tag team on your dumb ass. For any of you out there that are a dumbass. But you don't have to stay a dumbass. You can be better. I'm going to try to be better. Recently, I apologized to pro-social pessimists because I didn't communicate myself properly. And I probably didn't here either. But you know what? I'm going to try to be better. Enlightenment. Beautiful thing. Be positive. And I ain't talking about that dumb shit. Oh, and before I go, I want to say this. You want to know what fucked us up also? Progressive media elites and their bullshit talk about nonviolent, about having the moral high ground, about being nice, about all this other shit that didn't get shit. Because violence got noticed. Violence got results. Fuck trying to appease the Republicans and all that shit in terms of don't give them ammo. Fuck them. Fuck them. Because they sure as shit have proven they don't care about you. They shoot you in the street and then report how bad you are. Think about that, everybody. Because I promise you, these little social media elites that talk their goddamn game, if that shit rolled up in their home and the shit happened to them, I promise you they won't be talking about nonviolent. I promise you they won't be talking about peaceful protests. I promise you they'll be fucking somebody up the best they can. I promise you that. Punk asses. Every last one of them. Stop being a journalist and be a little activist, because that's what brought you to the damn dance in the first place. Be an activist. You want to be a journalist? Be it a little bit, but god damn it, get some forward movement going. Battleship ain't shit if it hasn't left a dock. Name a battleship that's named nonviolence. Cedric Kennedy, Sidra Owens. Comparative reasoning. Thank you for listening.